It is time for another video where I leave you saying, wait, I was today years old when I learned that? That's right, we're diving into some life hacks you're gonna wish that you knew sooner, and I want you to keep tally as you're watching this video, and then let me know in the comments down below when you get to the end of the video how many of these were new hacks to you and how many you already knew. Let's do this. I have to start with a particular hack because I'm sort of redeeming myself from an old video. About 2 years ago, I did a video about linen closets. One of my goals for that video was I really wanted to finally master the fitted sheet. I don't know, I was just in my 30s. I want to be able to at least fold a fitted sheet so that I can put it into a closet. You know what I mean? And I tried a ton of methods. I spent way too long trying every method, and I finally found one that worked, but it was kind of laborious. It was like a lot of steps. So I'll be honest, in my day-to-day life, I haven't actually been using it a ton. If something gets too complicated and there's too many steps, I'm just not gonna do it. Then I saw this new way to fold a fitted sheet, and I honestly was mad when I saw it because I was like, there is no way that it's that easy. I spent like 2 weeks doing a deep dive into fitted sheets. How did I not see this? So I'm here to say I have found a better way to fold your fitted sheets. So the way that this one works is you're just gonna lay your fitted sheet out on the floor or a bed. Then you're basically gonna take 2 corners of the short scrunchy end and tuck them inside the opposite 2 corners of the other scrunchy end. You will now have one straight end at the bottom, and then you can just fold in each of the other ends that aren't perfectly straight to create straight folds. Fold up from the bottom, and you can even tri-fold this and tuck the excess into the little loop that you've created, and you've created a perfect little fitted sheet burrito, if you will, that will just store perfectly anywhere. Like I said, a little bit mad that it took me this long to learn. Next up, if you ever crack your egg and you have a little shell in the egg, I'm sure you have tried to fish it out before with your fingers or a spoon and it's almost impossible, but if you just use some of the actual shell, it sticks right to it. This next hack is for corn, and I honestly did not think this one was gonna work when I tried it for the first time. What you're going to do is take some corn and you're going to trim off the ends. You wanna make sure that you're not trimming to the point that you can actually see the corn cob on the inside, because you are going to be sticking this in the microwave to steam. Now, I have done my corn in the microwave before. If you leave the husk on your corn, you can microwave it for about 4 minutes and it steams inside of the husk. But what was new to me is once you take this corn out, let it cool until it is safe to handle, then you're gonna cut off the bottom of the corn, and then you can squeeze from the top, and the corn on the cob will literally slide out of the husk with none of the fibers, totally clean. Holy guacamole, this is the easiest way I have ever made corn in my entire life. Honestly, sometimes I put off making corn even though my whole family loves it because I think it's a pain in the butt. Not anymore. Not anymore. Okay, this hack is for parchment paper. Now, when you get a brand new parchment paper, first thing that you want to check is the direction that your parchment paper is coming. Lots of times it'll start coming out this way, like from the top, and it just makes it hard to get a straight cut with your parchment paper. So if your parchment paper comes in the box that way, you're gonna flip it around the other way so that it's coming up from this way. Then you're gonna take the top and you're gonna tuck it in. Like this. Now you can just pull out how much you need and pull, and you will get a nice straight edge every time. I have one more parchment paper hack for you.
If you ever fight with parchment paper, which I do probably like every other day, I recently learned a hack that literally changed my life. And the woman was like, if you're struggling to get your parchment paper to sit inside of the container, as I am here, she said, it's because your parchment paper is parched. It's parched paper. And I was like, I don't know if this is real, but basically she's like, get it wet. And I was like, this seems wrong. It's not wrong. If you get your parchment paper wet, you can now like fit it inside of any casserole dish or any. This literally has changed my life. I've used it multiple times. It has not affected the baking of my item at all. And I will now always unparch my parchment paper when I'm cooking.
Next up is a product that I thought was really stupid until I finally got desperate and I bought one, and actually it's really great, and it is a magnet closing door screen. At our new house, we had been getting a ton of bugs in the house, especially flies, because the kids were constantly leaving the back door open. So I installed this screen. It has a slit down the center so you can easily walk in and out of it. The kids can walk in and out of it. The dog figured it out, but it has magnets so it pulls on it automatically to close it behind you. And holy guacamole, this has prevented so many bugs from getting in when my kids leave the back door wide open 800 times a day, or even just if I'm going in and out, like to the grill and I'm carrying something so I'm not fast enough to close it behind me. I was definitely wrong about this product because I thought it was gimmicky, but it works. Okay, I have a couple of iPhone hacks that I want to share with you, and the first one helps you organize your home screen. If you're like me, I basically gave up on organizing my home screen because it was just too hard to like drag all the apps around, and then I learned this trick. If you want to move apps, you're probably, if you're like me, you like hold down on them, and then you're dragging like each one at a time from like one screen to the next screen, right? And you're like, okay, I'll drag this one over here. Am I doing it? Am I dragging it? Drag it over here. Where is it going? There we go. There's an easier way. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna hold down on one of them, and then you can just, this is hard to do while I'm facing this way. Hold on, I gotta flip you around. Okay, so instead you can grab just one and grab it, and then you can add a bunch to it. So say I wanna move all of these ones over, I'm just tapping them. Then I can just slide them all over, and then they all move. Okay, this next iPhone hack is a total game changer for taking photos, and it's how you can set up voice control to take photos for you. So you don't need a remote, you don't have to worry about self-timers. You're gonna go into your settings and you're gonna scroll down until you see accessibility, and then you want to choose voice control. Important note here, make sure that your voice control is toggled to on. You may not have it set up yet, so you gotta toggle it on. Then you're going to go to commands, custom, create new command, and then you can type in any phrase here that you want to be able to say. I typed in cheese, you could do smile, you could do baloney. I don't care what you do. Under application, set this to camera, and under action, you're going to set run custom gesture. And then what you're going to do is you're going to tap on your phone where the shutter button usually is on your phone. I suggest you do a couple taps in the general vicinity so that you definitely get it correct. Worst case scenario, it's gonna take a couple photos for you. Then make sure you hit back and save. Now, when you go into your camera, let me run a screen share here so that you can see, and you hold up your phone and you say your gesture, cheese, it's going to run the gesture of hitting the capture button, and now you have taken photos. What? This just changed my life. I've been running around back and forth with the freaking self-timer thing my whole life.
Next, I don't know if this is a hack, but I recently swapped out the tray that I'd been keeping in our kitchen sink from one of those rubber mats to one of these fast drying earth stones. They are basically these like super porous stones that are quick drying. You've maybe seen people use them because they created ones to use under your shower instead of like a shower mat. And I have tried these and I don't really like the shower ones, but I love it for behind the sink. The rubber mat was always just holding on to water. It was getting like all kinds of gross. I didn't feel like it was keeping the actual area any cleaner because the actual mat would just get really gross and wet. So I really like these fast absorbing stones as a swap because they do keep the area so much drier. Next up, let's talk about laundry stripping. Have you ever heard of this? You have maybe seen videos of this on Instagram telling you should strip your towels. It's basically just the process of taking out any buildup of oils, residues, and detergents from your laundry. So you're going to start with clean laundry and you fill up your tub with hot water, mix in a 1/4 cup of borax, a 1/4 cup of washing soda. This is different than baking soda or washing detergent. And then mix in some heavy duty detergent like a Tide. Next, mix in your laundry, make sure it is fully submerged. You want to give it a stir every 4 to 5 hours, and you're going to be probably shocked at the color of the water when you're done because yes, that is all dirty residue that was on your laundry, your clean laundry.
Yucky water!
Yes, it is yucky water, isn't it?
Now run everything through the wash again on cold water just to make sure it's fully rinsed of all of the stuff that you just used to strip it. And this process will restore your fabrics. It can help to remove odors that you can't seem to get rid of, and it will strip out all of those oils and residues that may have been sitting around on your laundry.
Also, while we're on the topic, let's just talk about borax and washing soda in your laundry because knowing how to use these can be awesome life hacks too. So washing soda or pure soda ash has very high alkalinity, which means it's amazing for breaking down stains. So you can add some of this right into the drum of your laundry if you're looking to break down some tough stains in your laundry. Now, borax I find is really great for odor elimination. So add some of this into your laundry if it's not smelling so great. Maybe you've had something you washed a few times and it still smells musty. You're gonna add this into your laundry to help remove the odors. That's why together they work really great for laundry stripping.
Next is a quick hack for cleaning the grates above your stove. Wait, what grates? Yeah, those ones. If you're like me, you've been ignoring these for probably your entire life until I realized they existed and I needed to wash them. Now, my vents that I'm showing you are actually fairly new. These are like less less than a year old and they weren't used a ton by the previous owners of this house, so they aren't all that gross yet. But over a year, these do get really gross. They get sticky, greasy residue on them from cooking over the stove. So once a year, it is worth pulling them off to clean them. And the hack here is don't waste your time trying to scrub them. Save the elbow grease. You can just pour boiling hot water over the top and it will melt away the sticky, greasy yuck without any scrubbing.
All right, my friends, that does it. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Remember to be kind to yourself and others, and I will see you all in my next video.